Artspace, and we've just had the great get together, and lockdown rules are easing for us to meet up in little bubbles, so I thought we could do an art project based on having to work with another artist or a group of people, and it was the surrealist drawing game called Exquisite Corpse. And this was hatched in 1925 by a group of artists, Andre Breton and Marcel Duchamp being two of them, and it was during one of their ritual hangouts in Gay Paris. And Breton said the game was a way to unlock psychic space, and it stemmed from the old parlour game Consequences, which was a game where players would take it in turns to write a sentence, pass it around, and then you'd come out with some absurd, bizarre story. Bit like the story thread at the studio, so have a go at that as well. So Breton swapped the words for drawings, and the name came from the word game, The Exquisite Corpse Will Drink New Wine. So surrealist artists and painters really took to this immediately, thought it was great, good for inspiration, and in fact it was one of Frida Kahlo's favourite pastimes. And the game involves, quite self-explanatory, a number of artists or a number of people in a group, has very loose rules. Sticking to traditional representations were certainly not necessary, and the initiation group eventually disbanded around the 1930s, but the surrealist artists believed that drawing in groups provided fresh inspiration through their peers. So as I say, this game still exists today. Kids play it in school, do it in school, and it's still used by artists as a means to probe the nature of collaboration, partnership and unfettered creativity. And the Chapman brothers used the game to produce scenes of drawings that emphasise the creative partnership and it questioned the art world's obsession with individual authorship. So they experimented, the Chapman brothers, if you look them up, the great work, with different styles of drawing, so it was hard to see which brother had drew which part of the drawing. And yeah, so I've put one here together. If you can't get into a group because you're still in lockdown, you can do it yourself. You could just ring up family, text them or whatever. They give you an idea for a head, a neck, a body and feet, and that's what I did with this one. So I asked my husband, what head should I draw? He said a bear head. Then neck, he went for giraffe, so I knotted a giraffe neck there. And then he said a policeman, and I fancied a Victorian style policeman there for the body, and then a horse's feet, and that's what I come up with. And then the kids and the guys at home did this one. So my daughter did the head, hubby did the ladder, son did the body, and I've done the feet there. And it's just really good fun, and I think I put like a light wash on this one, very light wash, because I wanted it to look like old-fashioned paper, and I went for a Victorian style diagram, in which is what I wanted for that. So it's as I say, it's self-explanatory. You get your paper, if you can do it in 3s or 4s folds, and then we just the first person starts. So the first person would start their diagram there, or their picture there as a head, and then they open it up. So they've drawn their image there, so I'll just put a circle there, and then we just do 2 little lines where it finishes there, and then that's folded up and it's passed on without anybody cheating or looking. And they do their next one and they put the lines on again, and that's folded up again as you go, and you come out with your little diagram here, and then turn it into a painting. Leave it, if you look up any artist who's done these games, the folds in the paper are part of the artwork as well, so you will see evidence of the folds in the paper if you do some research on this. So basically just then paint, draw, paint, colour, pencils, charcoal, whatever medium you want to do it in, then just colour it in. I just did mine in watercolours and biro, pen, pencil and watercolour. And yeah, it's a great little game to play. You can, as I say, you can do it on your own if you just ask people to suggest what to turn a head into, a neck into, or a body into, or you can do it in a group of people when we start getting more and more back together again. So yeah, have a go, read up on it, it's really interesting. Exquisite Corpse. Some of the artwork is very graphic, although it's probably seen these days as a child game, a child's art game. It's some of the images from the Chapman brothers and the previous surrealist artists are very graphic, and there is some very adult themes in some of these drawing game art pieces. So yeah, have a look and give it a go. Post some on info at the studio .org.uk, at studiowitness.org.uk, or on the Facebook page, or yeah, so post, take a photograph of what you've done and post them in, and yeah, have a explore. Bye.